disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, a podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partner, Joe Hartley. What's up, man?
What's going on?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. And on Mondays, you got the Winner Circle with myself, Isaiah Gatherings, Chris Walker, and Angel Diaz. Tuesdays, the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Wednesdays, you can get the traditional way with Brett Shumway. And Thursdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Inner Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. And don't forget about the main app, the Martial Arts Inner Network app. Joe, it is showtime. What is up, man? How was your holiday?
Holiday was good, man. Got to see everybody, good food. Work made me stay, but man, it was such a pain. They forced me in, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna work noon. Work till noon, and then I fulfilled my obligation the way I see it, and then
I like how you said that.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking like, okay, no problem. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I learned at that job, like I learned at any job, don't ask to leave early. Just say you're leaving early, because every time you ask, they play around with it. So I just told them, I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving early. Man, they come over the doggone PA announcement thing, like anybody leaving early who's scheduled to work 8 hours, will get reprimanded one way. I'm like, man, I knew they were doing stuff like that.
Was this on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, the thing that made me mad about it even more, it's like, okay, so if you telling everybody they gotta stay, y'all are staying too, right? No, they all left early too. So
now,
the managers all left after making that announcement.
Now you said that you were there at noon.
I said I showed up my regular day, 7 o'clock, and then I wanted to leave at noon. But
okay, I got you.
Yeah, so I stayed the full day, and then I guarantee they'll do the same thing to me on Christmas, but I'm hoping not, because that's one. My kids are only gonna be, enjoying and wanting me around for Christmas for so much longer. After a while, I got one going to college next year. Like, Christmas is just gonna be a flyby. Like, where's my gift? Okay, love you, bye. Like, like I know that's coming. I mean, I don't know that's what's gonna be. My kids enjoy spending time, but I know that they're growing up real quick. So I would just want to be around while they're still, want to enjoy that. That's the way I look at it. But we'll see what happens. They put out the schedule. I said no. We'll see what happens. But now the funny thing is, we're doing all these hours. They have me coming in early the next couple of days to get my hours. Instead of doing 12 hours, staying 4 hours afterwards, they're like, oh, you can come in 4 hours early. It means I gotta get up at like 3 o'clock. Yeah, I know. So I'm like, oh, but I do like to do the early compared to staying late, because if I stay the 4 hours after, I'm not getting home till 8 o'clock. So right now I'm like, maybe I'll do 2 hours early and stay 2 hours over. That'll be better. So we'll see. But they're only going to offer these hours, for so long, because we got so much mail right now. So I said I might as well make a little extra money. I got to get Christmas and birthdays coming up, so I'll make it work for now. But other than that,
how was the movie day?
Movie day was good. We only got 2 movies though. That was the crazy part. We've usually done at least 4. So we had a full crew this time. So I got there at 10, but everybody else didn't get there till like 11:30. And but yeah, we had a good time. It was good to see everybody. A couple of cousins, my wife's cousins that we haven't seen in a few years, showed up. So that was nice. to see everybody and see what's going on and catch up. And then the only other thing we got going on now is Ava's getting ready for the musical, and Layla, you know, she finished marching band a little bit ago, and then they started this newer program called Pep Band.
Pet
So
PET.
Pep,
Oh,
PEP,
Pep. Okay.
yeah, Pep Band, and they're playing for the hockey teams, boys and girls, and they're playing for the basketball when the basketball starts up. So she's been going to ice hockey games the last couple of weeks, and they're playing like real upbeat songs, Pitbull, Jennifer Lopez, stuff like that. So she's enjoying that, but you know, just like marching band, she's like super excited about it, but then it takes up all her time.
Mm,
So teenagers, man, I'm like, hey,
mm-hmm,
that's what you got to do. It's like
mm-hmm,
when you enjoy something and you like doing it, like it's gonna take up your time. That's what it's for. Because you gotta practice at least 2 or 3 days a week. You gotta go to the practice and get ready for the games. Then you got 1 game, maybe 2 games. She has some games end up on the weekend.
mm-hmm,
I was like, that's no different than, when I was coming up, I was doing 4 or 5 days of karate and
mm-hmm.
tournaments on the weekend, sometimes
Yeah.
2 tournaments, Saturday and a Sunday. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun, but you gotta make that commitment and enjoy it. So she likes it. She's having fun. She's meeting some new people, and I think it's good for her because she needs that.
Did wrestling ever um, conflict with karate for you, or did you do wrestling right after school?
Yeah.
Because
So,
karate wasn't until late.
so wrestling was a 4-hour practice, and it was right
Mm,
after school. So
mm-hmm,
I would finish wrestling. My dad would pick me up like 6. We'd get home, chow some dinner, and then go to karate. And the only problem I had with that was the first year I did wrestling was my sophomore year,
mm-hmm,
and excuse me, uh, I was getting my black belt at the time.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, it was rough. I was in black belt camp and doing wrestling, and I think at the end of my no, I didn't do varsity until the next year. But I did get to wrestle 2 varsity matches, and if you win a varsity match on JV, you automatically letter. So I got my
okay,
letter that year, my first year, because
mm-hmm,
I won a varsity match. And then the next year I made the varsity team. We had an opening, and I wrestled a guy for it, and then I got that spot. So yeah, the next year I think we put karate on. Once I had my black belt, I think I just cut karate down to 1 day a week during the wrestling season, and then because I really enjoyed wrestling a lot. It was a lot of fun,
mm-hmm,
and I was good at it. Greg and I both were pretty good at it. We were um, the karate and the wrestling itself kind of mixed together pretty well. So
mm-hmm.
even though my coach was always worried we were going to do like jujitsu or something on people and kick, and I told him I was like, I got more self control than that. And I've said this before. I think if we got in a bad situation was the only time like I might have tried to mess somebody up, but it wasn't like anything serious.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that happened a lot in wrestling. Like if somebody, and there's just the problem is like when you're jockeying for position or stuff like that, sometimes a crossface like will come across and cut your mouth or you can't breathe. And like
Mm-hmm.
there's you don't really tap in wrestling, and even if you do, sometimes nobody even notices it because they're not looking for that. They're looking to see if you're getting back points or pinfall. So yeah, sometimes you got to be like, dude, I can't breathe. So other than that, yeah, it was fine. But yeah, I had a good time and putting wrestling. It was the only time I really took a break from karate. Um, during high school and stuff. So,
Did Mike Gibbs wrestle also?
um, I don't know because, I think he did. He talked about it.
I kind of think he did also, but I can't really remember all the way.
So, I mean, he knows what he's talking about. So I think one way or another he did figure it out somehow. So, because when I used to talk to him about it, and we used to, he like I said, he knew his stuff. So one way or another, he was doing something with it. My
Okay.
son's talking about it now, and I I told him last year. I said if you wanted to do it, I would help him with it. And it's coming up, so I said, you know, you'd be good at it. So we'll see what he does. He wants to do that or track.
Yeah, my son's school also wrestling is coming up, and I've been trying to push him to do wrestling just to try it because I always wanted to do it, and none of the schools I went to ever had it. So, and like you said, man, it goes well with karate, and with my son already doing karate and occasionally jujitsu, it's just a good skill to have growing up, especially as teenager. Well, he'll be a teenager in February, so I just think that'll be a good mix for him. So
Yeah, it was funny because it was hard to pin me.
Mhm.
And then the other problem was with my brother because so I wrestled 190, Greg wrestled 215. I think I stayed at like 189 at the time, and Greg stayed around like 210.
Mhm.
So a lot of the moves the coaches wouldn't teach past a certain weight. They call them like lighter weight moves. But
Mhm.
Greg and I were able to do them because of karate.
Mhm.
So when the coach saw Greg and I would use them in wrestling matches. And the coach was like, wait, I don't teach these to my big guys. They're not supposed to be able to do this. And he would see us. And so he's like, maybe I should start teaching it to the big guys.
Well, you guys had that agility.
Well, and that was the thing because at Four Seasons, we didn't have anybody our size really
Mhm.
until we got to the adult class. And so we were always fighting the lighter guys. And so we had to try and keep up with them.
Mhm.
So we were just used to that. And then we would watch the moves being taught to the other guys and be like, I can do that.
Mhm.
So we were just stubborn. What you been up to, man?
Oh man, nothing much, man. Enjoyed the holiday. Watched those Lions.
Yeah, there was just sports was sad this weekend.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Michigan, I expected Michigan to lose. I didn't expect them to beat Ohio State at all.
Yeah, but they started off giving us some hope with the turnover. I
Yeah,
mean, there's 3 opportunities. They were in the red zone 3 times right off the bat. And they
yeah, but I
didn't do
still
anything. I know.
I thought it was too good to be true. I was like, this is not, it's not gonna happen.
I'm just saying. Normally, you start off like that, and it's a good.
Mhm.
So.
And if Michigan had been playing good all year, decently, then I would have been a little bit, more optimistic about it. But all they did was 3 field goals. They didn't even score a touchdown.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm if Sharon don't open up that offense next year, like I'm gonna be calling for his head.
It should be his last year next year. If they, I mean, and the messed up part, they went 9-3 this year. To anybody else, they might be thinking that's a good season, and to me, it's not good because they didn't beat anybody, and
they let some of the games against people
too close.
Too close.
Yeah, too close. You can't. You got to beat up on the weaker teams.
Yes,
and you have to beat them by a good margin. You can't barely win those games. You got to dominate those games. And I just didn't like what I was seeing all year from them.
No, I agree 100%. I wasn't expecting much either, but I was expecting the offense to look better at least each week, but
no, I didn't.
I mean, if he couldn't run the ball 30 times, it was a bad day for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, every team's not gonna let you run the ball 30 times, man. Like this is not gonna happen.
And also, that's not Blake Corum either.
Exactly.
It's not Corum.
And you're using a third string running back at this point, so because both the other two got hurt. So yeah, well, we got lucky this year. Well, who knows what we'll end up with in the bowl game. But I might not even watch it. I don't even
care. Yeah, I'm not planning to watch it. I'm not. Melissa got ready to put on the Ohio State game, and I was like, I don't really want to watch it. I was like, I kind of know what's going to happen. I did end up watching it though, so
I watched.
But
after that second Tate touchdown, I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, Melissa, her and the girls, they wanted to go to the mall, so we took them to the mall. And me and Braylon, we did not want to go to the mall, so I said, you know what, we're gonna drop you off. And I'm gonna go to my dad's house. So I went to my dad's, and me and Braylon watched the game with my dad till it was time to go back and pick them up. So we did that.
Yeah, you
Friday also.
You cracked me up on Winter Circle because you were like, Yeah, I took him to 12 Oaks the other day, but I just hung out in the food court.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did. Because I'm like, Black Friday, really? Y'all want to go to the mall on Black Friday? I was like, man, Joe, I parked literally the last spot all the way in the back of the mall
I know,
in the
man.
parking lot. And I had to walk across the parking lot in order to go to I dropped them off at the door and then I just, but I told him, I said, I'm dropping y'all off. You'll find me in the food court. And I went and waited in the food court and I just on my phone the whole time and waiting for them to do their shopping. I was not about to walk around that mall. It was so many people at that mall.
I know.
It was crazy.
I'll lose my mind. I'll lose my mind, man.
Yeah, especially around the holidays.
Yeah, I don't.
It's normally pretty busy on a normal Saturday. 12 Oaks is one of those malls that, it's okay. 12 Oaks, Great Lakes Crossing, Somerset, those malls keep people there. Even, when it's not the holiday season. So when it is the holiday season, those three malls are just packed. I'm keeping my distance. The only time I'm going there is when I'm working and I can stop, go in real quick, grab what I need to grab, and then get the hell out of there and keep on moving. That's how I do it. So Thanksgiving was nice, man. We only had half the family, but it still was pretty big. My aunt and her crew didn't come. But everyone else was there. So we had a pretty big family gathering. And of course, my brother, he wants to talk about Matthew Stafford again. Once again, man, I'm so tired of talking about Matthew Stafford. Goodness gracious, because now he wants me to, give him props now.
Why?
And my thing was, it goes back to the beginning. When we drafted Matthew Stafford, we had Dante Culpepper. Now, Dante Culpepper had came off. He had been retired for about a year or so.
Yeah.
So we brought him in, and he was, he was rusty. And we had a hard schedule that particular time when we were playing. So then we ended up going 0-16. So we ended up getting the first draft, the first pick in the draft, and we took Stafford. I didn't know a lot about Stafford. And I'm thinking, okay, he's going to play behind Culpepper. And then what people would say was, no, you don't have a quarterback come number one and you play him behind someone else. He has to start the number one pick. You have the number one pick of any position. Those people need to play. Okay, fine. He played a couple games. I think he got hurt that first year. Definitely the second year, because I think he was out most of the second year. And the third year also, I think he got hurt. Then around the fourth and fifth year he was playing, he was not doing the best. He threw a lot of interceptions. He threw the ball high. Calvin would have to go up too high to catch it, or too low, or behind him.
And he locks in on one guy. If that one guy is Calvin Johnson, of course you're going to look good.
Yeah. And then he would throw the ball a lot of times too hard. So Stafford was trying to find himself at first, because a lot of people used to drop the balls. Okay. Now, around 2012-13, I was done with him. I was like, we need to move on to somebody else. And Travis like, no, let's give him some time. He's going to develop. I'm like, listen, man, any other quarterback, Detroit teams are very, very loyal. When we draft someone, we want those to be our guys.
Yep.
And we don't like letting people go. The Pistons do it. The Lions do it. I'm not sure about the Red Wings and Tigers because I don't follow them as closely as I do the Pistons and the Lions. But we lock on to somebody. We keep them for a long time. And so Trav was like, no, we can't get rid of him, this, that, and other. Okay, fine. We can't get rid of him. All right. But he's not making me a believer right now. And then a lot of people were acting like, and I'm not making this up. People were calling him an elite quarterback. And at this time, I said he's not elite. Like, if he's anything, he's average to me, which is average is not bad. He's still good. He's average. It's nothing. I've not seen him do anything that was spectacular at that point, right? Because he wasn't throwing bombs to Calvin, and Calvin's not running down the field like Jefferson for Minnesota. He ain't doing that. We never used Calvin and Matthew Stafford like that. A lot of times when Calvin would get the ball, he would get tackled almost immediately. Now it'll be some good yardage, it'll be a good throw, but we didn't get that all the time.
No.
Okay. So, then we had a couple good years with Stafford, and my point then was, okay, Yes, the Lions are in the playoffs these particular years, but let's go back and look at the teams we beat. We beat a bunch of scrubs. They weren't good teams. So when we get to the playoffs and we play a good team, we're getting popped. Stafford's not doing anything, and we're losing. I'm like, I can't say that I'm still not able to see him. I'm not seeing him pick good teams apart. I'm not seeing him pick Green Bay apart. I'm not seeing him pick Dallas apart. He was not doing that at that time. Okay, so of course I'm still skeptical. And meanwhile, people are telling me that this guy is elite. I don't think so. And then he became the highest paid quarterback in the league. Okay, fine. So as time is going on, I'm steadily getting more and more frustrated. And he's not showing me anything else. Do you remember that Monday night game? I forgot. I think they were playing. Were they playing the Jets? And he did 6 interceptions in the first half or something crazy like that. It was a Monday night game. You know, so I'm really.
Yeah, I thought it was. There was a Monday night against St. Louis, and they got lit up bad.
Yeah, I have to go back and look, but I think it might have been the Jets.
I believe
it was some team, and he threw 6 interceptions in the first half. And Trav still now. Once again, Trav is not living here in Detroit. Trav was not watching every single game. He wasn't even watching every single play. He would text me about Matthew Stafford's yardage if we would lose a game, and I'm like, dude, he got a good chunk of those yards at the end of the game, in the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, when it's garbage time now.
Yep.
I'm like, I can't give him the defense is not playing the same game anymore, you know. So, you know, that was my issue with that. So then when he ends up getting traded, I was happy that we traded him. He goes to LA and ends up with him. And once again, Trav texted me, oh, look at him. He won. I'm like, dude, they just went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago with Jared Goff. So that means they already were a good team because, of course, he's a seasoned quarterback. Jared Goff took the team there, and he was in his second or third year at that time.
He won most of those games on defense and running.
I know that.
Jared was just a game manager. So
I know. But they're still giving him props for it. He leaves the Lions, and all of a sudden he wins.
This year is his best year that he's had since he's been in the league.
Yes, he has. And once again, I went back and looked at the teams that he has beaten and played. I mean, I'm not seeing anybody that's an outstanding team. You know, he has some decent wins on there, and I'm happy. He's playing better. I'm definitely saying he
hasn't beaten us yet.
No, but he's going to. I don't think the Lions. I don't think the Lions are going to beat LA this year. I don't think so at all. And you know, but once again, that led to another discussion with Travis and my family, because I said, you know, with the remaining games, the remaining schedule, we should not be trying to get to the playoffs. I don't think we would do good in the playoffs. I don't think we have a chance.
We're gonna try.
And that's what Travis said. And I don't. I'm playing a different game. At this point, I want to get us better draft positioning. I don't want to try and then get in and then get popped. Like both of our cornerbacks are gone, right? Kirby's not playing right now. He might come back, but he might not. You know, and Terrion Arnold is gone for the year, so he's not coming back. So their replacements it's not going to help us win. Those two guys that we have, they're not going to help us win. I don't want anyone getting hurt. I don't want any of the Lions that we have left getting hurt, and that injury bleeding over into the next year. Because sometimes when you get injured, you don't come back the same player. Aiden is not the same player as he was before he got injured. This year's not like he was 2 years ago. Now I could have some rust on him.
Double, triple teaming his ass.
Yes, and once again, that was another thing I said. And once again, we didn't make any moves at the trade deadline.
Yeah, that was dumb.
We didn't need to draft Tesla and not play him. We could have got another defensive player or offensive line. They should have addressed other issues. So we need to see what kind of players we have now, and then make some adjustments, draft some other people, be in a good draft position to get some better defensive or offensive line players for next year. And then next year is going to be do or die. They got to get to the Super Bowl next year. Next year is do or die, or they need to start making some adjustments and some changes. So, but Trav and some of my family, they did not agree with that. They were like, they got to at least try. I'm like, dude, I don't want us to go out against Dallas and get embarrassed. Then I can't see us winning,
especially at home. Especially at home. Dallas has been playing good.
Yeah, they have been playing good. They have, and I mean, they have to go 4-1 over these next 5 games. I can't in order for a chance to make the playoffs. And at the same time, Philadelphia has already beat us. We lost both games to Green Bay. LA is it should be ahead of us. I'm like, I just can't see them making the playoffs this year. So I want to retool.
They're not looking to get a draft pick, man. They don't care.
I know they're trying, and my hands off to them.
He give them all away.
Yeah, but last thing I want to see is Gibbs get hurt. David Montgomery definitely does not look like he did last year. So we need to either be trying to figure out what we're going to do for him going forward. Also, if it's almost time for him to go, like if he needs to retire, we need to be looking at somebody that's going to replace him.
Gibbs off the field, man. It's hard to take Gibbs off the field when you're down and you need a spark. Like he always finds a way to give you that spark, man.
He does, but he
single-handedly won the Giants game for us.
Yeah,
lost that game.
Yeah, see, but that's a problem because the Giants aren't a good team.
I know.
That is a problem.
Gibbs single-handedly won that game, man, with just 3 big old runs.
Yeah, and the last thing we need is for him to get his knees messed up or his ankle hurt over games that don't really matter. So I'm like, let our starters play the first 2 quarters, and then the third and fourth quarters, let's look at some other stuff.
That'll never happen.
Oh, I know it. I know. I'm just saying. Because last thing I want is for one of our players to get hurt, because then we're gonna have a whole nother problem.
Yep.
And it's going to definitely affect us next year if that happens. So it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But let's talk about our movie or our series for this week. We've been looking to do this for a while. We even attempted to do this. It might have been a year or so ago we tried to do this, and it wasn't on any of the streaming platforms. So we're talking about Kingdom season 1, episodes 1 and 2.
This is on for free on Amazon, except for season 2. I don't know why. Did you see that?
No. Season 3 is on there.
All the seasons are there, but season 1 is for free. Season 3 is for free. Season 2 you have to pay for.
Now that's dumb. I didn't know that. I didn't even pay attention to that. Oh my God, let me look that up, man.
What did you watch it on?
I watched it on Prime.
Yeah. So season 2 is, at least on mine, you gotta pay for season 2. So
that is dumb. I've never heard of them doing something like that.
They do that weird stuff all the time. I don't know why. I really my favorite thing about this series is you get a little bit of everything for everybody in this series. They have really good storytelling. They have really good fight scenes. Not too much like love triangle stuff.
You're right.
They throw a few twists in there every once in a while. And I just really enjoyed it. I mean, right off the bat, so we got Frank Grillo playing Alfie. And, he's just running. He's just on his daily run, and we don't know anything about him yet because, we do because we know the show. But if you're watching it for the first time, he's just out running and some car cuts him off and he says something. And I guess they're a couple of gangbangers, so they stop. And he beats the crap out of them. They pull a gun on him and he beats the crap out of them. And these two just look dumb in the street. And he just went about oh, that was just part of my workout, no problem. And then he pulls up to his gym. So, this is Alfie. He owns Navy Street MMA. MMA gym. He runs it with, we find out later his girlfriend Lisa. And then we find out there's so much more layers to all that. Because, this isn't just about a dude running his gym with his girlfriend. He's got a son. He's got 2 sons that are fighters. He's got an old best friend that Ryan, who's just now getting out of jail. And oh, by the way, Alfie's girlfriend, who helps him run the gym, is Ryan's ex-fiance. So I'm assuming before he went to jail, they were together, and then not anymore. So I mean, you got so many layers to all these stories, and then the characters are so good.
Yeah.
Like Ryan is a great character. Alfie's a great character. Nick Jonas actually really. I when I seen him in this, I was like, I'm just not a Jonas fan at all. But and seeing him in this, I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. Let's see it. And he really surprised me. Like he did a very good job for this. I don't know how much fight training or whatever he did, or if it was all like stunt double or something like that, but he did a really good job.
Yeah, I agree.
And then they throw our boy Stingray in there before he was Stingray.
Yeah, man. This guy, he better be careful before he get typecast, because
that's the only kind of players he plays.
That's it.
He only plays crazy. He does crazy too well, and he's good at it. He plays. There's another. I don't know if it's a movie or a series. He plays a serial killer or something like that.
Yeah,
I think he played the BTS killer or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember, but he also played the guy who was at the Atlanta Olympics when that bomb went off.
Yes,
he played the security guard. There.
So no, he only plays like psycho crazy, and he's too good at it. And he looks like a psycho. I mean, he just does.
I wonder if this is his character in real life.
I don't know, man. But Stingray was the only character that he wasn't a psycho, but he was still kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, that's just what he does. He's just a goofy guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his like you see in all 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't get better from the beginning.
No, he doesn't.
He gets
yeah, he doesn't get any better.
So after we see Alfie show up at his gym, and he's
hold on, you keep. So I think his name was Al V. V-E-Y. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I always hear it differently every time.
Yeah, I think it's Al V.
Al V. We see Ryan. It looks like he's talking to his parole officer, and he's just getting the rundown of what's going on and everything like that. And we're not quite sure at this point, what he did, but he's kind of got like a stone cold look on his face, and he's just trying to keep it all together. And I don't know if probation officers are really like this, but I feel like every time there's a probation officer, they're always kind of the same kind of guy.
And everything.
Yeah, they just seem like they're real. That you gave them a little bit of power over some people, and they're just kind of full of themselves. Because he's like looking at Ryan, and by the way, Ryan's like ripped. He sees on his paperwork that he used to be a fighter, and this guy's like kind of talking to him like he's an asshole.
He can't do anything to him.
I know, but you still like, why would you talk to someone like that? What if he got it in his head? Like, what if he wants to go back to jail and he just decides to mess up?
Yeah,
I'm saying, man, I'm talking to someone a little bit more respectful than that. That's all I'm saying. Especially if I know this guy, like, I mean, he went to jail for beating the crap out of his father. Like, he's not right in the head. I'm not messing with that guy.
Yeah, you're right.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, like, and that guy looked like a turd. So, next we get to see Nick Jonas's character Nate, and he's finishing up a fight camp. He's getting ready for a big fight. That the way they talk about it, him and his dad, and even him and his brother later on when we meet Jay, who by the way is my favorite character in this whole entire show.
He still looks the same like he did when he was a kid.
I know he does.
did you see Sleepers? That movie, Sleepers?
Yeah.
When I seen him, I was like, oh, that's a kid. He grew up.
They talk like this fight's supposed to propel him into bigger and better things. So I don't know like how many fights he's had, like, or
they did, but to me it seemed like this was his first fight. To me, the way they acted, but
no, you know what? This is what they did. Okay, so leading up to the fight, he was watching footage on the guy he's gonna fight. He was talking to everybody like, what if this, what if that, and everyone was trying to tell him like, he was getting in his own head, man. Like, you did the training, you had a good camp, you got a good fight plan. He just diverted from the fight plan at the beginning of that fight when he gets into it. So he's wrapping up his fight camp, and in walks Ryan. So this is the first time we see Ryan and Alvy kind of interact for the first time. And he asks him, when did you get out? What's going on? Da 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 da. So they're just trying to catch up a little bit. And I wondered if at this point if Alvy never told him that he kind of picked up his girl while he was gone, because he kind of seemed like he kind of looked at him like he was happy to see him, but he was also like kind of worried about what he might think.
Yeah, from what I remember, him and Lisa broke up not because of Alvy. They broke up before.
Well, because he went to jail.
Yeah, but they have been broken up for a couple of years. I think he was in jail for 4 or 5 years, and they broke up. Yeah, okay, so they broke up 2 years into that, because I think they had mentioned they were talking about it and saying that was 2 years ago. So, but
he was asking about Nate. He's like, "Oh, is that Nate I saw?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's got a big fight coming up." Then he was even asking about Jay. So that's the first time we hear about Jay, the other son.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay's the younger son, right?
No, he's the older son.
Okay, he's
older than Nate.
Older than Nate. Nate's the younger.
Yeah.
So it seems like Jay used to be a fighter, but for some reason, he's getting into other things. So he's not fighting right now. And Ryan was kind of bummed about that. I guess he thought Jay was a pretty good fighter. So, and then at the same time, we find out like Ryan was a fighter before he ended up going to jail. So, and they just have a conversation. And I think he came there kind of looking for a job. But I think he really came there looking for Lisa.
I don't know what he came in there for. It seemed a little weird and awkward.
Well, he was asking,
maybe you're right,
acting like he could help out around the gym. Just he wouldn't need to get paid, is what he said. And the second Lisa walks in, Nate kind of gives her heads up about Ryan. So and that was smart because that'd be a lot for somebody after 4 years. So, but she just walks in like no big deal, and she has a conversation with Alvy like, "What are you doing?" And like Alvy, he's crazy in this show because as much as he has this girl who's a business partner, there's drama there with the ex and all this stuff. He doesn't listen to her about any of that.
No.
He kind of brushes it off with, a lot. Where I don't think like he's lucky that she sticks around with him through a lot of that, because most girls wouldn't just let you brush something like that. Like he wants Ryan in his life.
Well, there's a reason why, because
I know, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, man, that's hard to do to somebody. Like you've been with this girl now for 2 years or so, it sounded like, and you love her. You kind of got to respect her wishes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about your wife, but I know my wife wouldn't be putting up with that crap.
No.
I mean, there'd be hell to pay for it if we were running a business together. I'm like, I need this guy around. Like, I would be having to kiss some booty, man. Like, it just wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
So you know how that goes. So the funny thing is, Nate, he rides his bike home after all this is going on, and he comes home, and this is the first time we see Jay. Jay is in his room, boning some other chick.
Yeah.
Why are you in my room?
That would have been the first thing I said. Like, why? Like, what the hell? Why are you in my room doing this? Why you have your own room?
And Nate does say something. He goes, "Man, the damage is already done. Give me 5 minutes." Yeah. No, man, I'm telling you. Okay, when I first moved out of my mom's house, it was me, my brother, and my best friend. We each had our room. Nothing like that's going on in my room. Wouldn't be a problem. No more than I'm not doing anything like that in your room or your room. Anywhere in the house, okay, I might be mad, but not my room. My room is my room. My room is sacred. Like that would have been a problem. I would have
that would have been a problem.
I would have been like,
what about coming? You got to fight. You're in fight camp, and you come home, and there's a party going on.
Oh, I know. Yeah. You're
with
right.
just random people just walking around, half naked women, literally half naked women walking around, drinking and smoking. It looks like, to me, I don't think I've seen this, but it looks like, I'm quite sure there's probably some cocaine around or some meth or something. I mean, that place that place did not look like the best place that you should live if you're preparing for a fight.
So I'll tell you, I mean, right off the bat, we just learned, and he only proves it more. Jay is a wild card. Jay is crazy. He's a wild card. I'm like, I remember the first thought I had when I seen Jay. I'm like, if he's a fighter, I hope he fights because I want to see that. If you know it's gonna be good. Because he's crazy. Something wrong with this dude. So yeah. But Nate loves him. So I mean, Nate puts up with a lot from him, and even the point where right now, I guess, because it sounds like when Nate is talking to Jay about Alvy, their dad, like Jay has nothing good to say, and Nate's like, he wants it to work out. He wants both of them in his life. But it sounds like that Alvy kind of pushed Jay out of the picture and then decided Nate was the new prodigal son.
Well, there's a reason why. I mean, they talk about it in the second episode as to what happened with Jay.
Well, I know it was a lot to do with the mom, and Jay messed things up with the fighting, but
yes,
I mean,
that was the main thing.
He was messing things up with promoters and everything like that. But he was doing that on purpose because he was mad at his dad.
Yeah, but now you're messing up the business also, because then Alvy was saying, well, other people that we're trying to get fights aren't getting fights because the promoters think they're going to act like you. They're thinking that this is the type of shit we're running, and I can't have that.
I get that, but Jay's doing that on purpose out of anger and disrespect for his dad. He could care less about himself. He wanted that to happen because he's mad that his dad treated his mom a certain way. Apparently he wasn't around for Nate and Jay for a while until he opened this gym and decided they were good fighters. Is what it sounds like throughout the show.
I missed that part. I didn't.
Yeah, I think that's just Jay acting out.
Okay.
I don't agree with it. I think it's, you got to let that stuff go and just, get on board or not. And eventually I think that's kind of what happens. Because slowly but surely Nate breaks everything down and gets Jay kind of back into everyone's good graces for the most part. I mean, he's still going to be himself, but at least, because Nate, like I said, he wants both of them. He needs both of them eventually, to get his head right. So, which is kind of funny. But so we go and we see Ryan now. He's having he's living at like a halfway house, I'm assuming. Is that what they call it? It's not a sober living, like a halfway house.
That's how I saw it. But it was more. It wasn't just like a house. It was more so almost like a little like a dormitory, because didn't they have like a rec room or something like that?
Yeah, it's like a group home almost, but it must be for ex-cons to get their stuff back together. So I'm sure you gotta, they had a curfew. They all got drug tested and for drugs and alcohol. They all got they had to get a job, stuff like that. So, and they're having a group, and they're taking a break from group, and for whatever reason, this guy that was kind of being a jerk decides that he recognizes Ryan and he wants him to put on a glove and decide, go punch for punch. Again, I don't understand. First off, this dude just looked like he was, 2 courts shy of a full deck, man. And he's gonna tell a fighter and he gave him the first hit, and Ryan put on that glove and knocked his ass right out.
Quick.
Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
No idea at all.
That was crazy to me. I'm like, again, I don't know why people why are you looking at this guy? And if you don't know that what he went to jail for, you should have found out and he's a fighter. Like, stop messing with this dude, man. It's just not smart.
We never see him again in these first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So I hope he learned his lesson.
Yeah,
I'm assuming he did.
Probably didn't. So Alvy and Ryan are talking again, and they're having some food and they're just shooting the bull. And Alvy gives them some religious book, I guess, I don't know what the point of that was. Make him understand like you can still be a good fighter and not be angry. I don't know what the idea of that was.
Mm.
And Ryan was like, I don't need, well, like, I'm not religious, man. Like, he's like, no, it's more than that. It's just like, spiritualness and peace or something like that. And then he's just kind of hanging out. And so this is Elvie's way of trying to bring him back into the fold and fighting. But I understand Ryan, like, he's trying to be better than he was. Like, you went to jail for putting your dad in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not good, man.
I don't think they said that yet at this point, but
They haven't, but it's in the next episode.
They you would think that Alvy would have wanted to like kind of ease him back into it, because Alvy is immediately talking to him about competing and fighting.
Yeah,
it's like, why don't you just have this guy just working out and train, or let him teach some classes or something like that? But he's like, when he wants to get him back into a cage and compete. Yeah. And coming out of jail, his head might not be in the right place for that just yet.
That's what I'm saying. And Alvy, he wasn't understanding that. And on top of that, it's not even just that. There's layers to this, man. Like, one, he's probably not in the right headspace to be doing this. Two, you got his ex-fiance there. Like, he's gonna have to see each other every day. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And she even says to Ryan, like, I don't know what you're trying to do or what Alvy's trying to do, but don't mess up what we got going on. And he just kind of like, not trying to. This other part, man, was nuts, because we see Nate sleeping, and one of those girls that were over the other day, like, waking him up. And he goes outside, and Jay's outside shooting Bob in the head with a gun.
Yeah, I was happy about that.
I know you were. When I say Bob, most people should know is the heavy bag Bob. Jay's out there. Obviously, he's on something. So Nate puts him in a chokehold and almost
put him out.
Almost put him out just to get his head like out of whatever he was doing.
He was drunk or high or both.
Probably both.
Mm-hmm.
So just acting crazy. We go to the next day and we see Nate. We got everybody's helping Nate. Ryan, Elvie, Jay, they're all helping him. He's got to cut weight. What do you have to cut? Like 16 pounds?
I don't remember, but
he said it was 170. He had to be 152.
Have you ever? I don't remember, but that sounds about right though. It was a amount, because matter of fact, you're probably right, because Ryan was talking with Nate about that. They were walking when Nate walked him to the bus stop, and he was on his bike, and they were talking about that. And
he was talking about him cut 20 pounds almost every
day.
day.
Something like that. So so you're probably right, because it looks like Nate is having a hard time. I have never had to cut weight for any competition or anything. Have you ever had to do that?
Yeah, for wrestling. I had, cut 8 pounds one time.
In like a day or something?
Like 3 days.
Oh, 3 days. Okay, so you never did anything.
Well, I had to cut 2 pounds at a tournament one time.
Okay.
And then when I cut it, because they give you 2 hours, I had ringworm on my back, and they didn't even let me wrestle. So I did it for nothing, and I was so mad. It was the pre-state tournament, so I had to wrestle 2 low-level, because I had the number 1 seed. I had to wrestle 2 low-level matches to get into the qualifying for state, and then I would have to wrestle 2 more matches at the state tournament, and then I could have went to state probably if I probably could have been ranked within the top 5, 6. So I didn't get to wrestle any of those.
Damn.
It was, and I told them, I was like, a lot of times they'll put tape over it, but they had a real bad outbreak that year, and I was like, our whole team had went through it during the season, and of course it hit me at the end.
That's how it goes with you, Joe.
You're
know. Always the last one.
Yeah, it's stupid, so stupid, but that's how it goes. So yeah, they're doing the weight cut, and then we see Nate at his dad's house, and they're having a nice dinner, and Nate seems moody sometimes, man, because he starts talking about Jay again, and his dad kind of throws like, your brother's a bum, da da da. And Nate's like throws the plate of food and gets all up in his dad's face, and his dad kind of pushes him back down, like, who are you to come into my house acting like this? It was a little crazy. Like they got a weird relationship.
Yeah. Also, let's talk about why Nate is there, because Nate realized I cannot stay at the house with Jay,
Oh, I
trying to
know.
cut weight and trying to train. So that's why he was even staying at his dad's house, especially after Jay goes and shoot up Bob. So
Yeah.
I kind of get that. That kind of made sense. And I think that when you are cutting weight, you become a little moody, right?
Well, I get that.
And very, very irritable. So I get why Nate would have been at this point, because he had just finished cutting weight. He had just made weight. He had just weighed in and everything. So now he was going back and trying to get back to normal. So you're right. He was moody, but he wants his brother to be in his corner.
He wants his brother to be able to train again.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, slowly but surely he breaks it down. But the day of the fight, Nate gets what he wants. He gets his brother in his corner. He gets the dad in the corner, and the dad just kind of like, if this is what Nate needs, because he wants nothing but good things for Nate. And so, Jay shows up at the fight. He helps out, and he's in his corner along with the dad. And it's fight night, and they come out. Everything's looking good. Everybody's looking good. You're like wondering like what's gonna happen. And they get right into the fight, and Nate does not have a good first round. Like he looks just sloppy, and so it's not like he should have. He almost got popped. Like he barely survived, and then they end that first round. He was in a choke, and a few more minutes, couple minutes, or another 30 seconds, he might have been out.
Yeah,
honestly. So he got lucky. His second round was a little better, but his dad felt like he won that second round, and I think the second round was more even than him winning it. I don't know that he won that round.
I don't think
he was still taking some punishment at the beginning, and he just ended the round with a arm bar. From a standing position, which was interesting. That was a pretty good arm bar. But was it an arm bar or like a triangle? I think it was a triangle.
I don't.
Either way, it was nice, but I don't think it won him the round. If anything, it would have been a tie round to me. But so Alvy's like, you gotta knock him out. So he goes out. Now third round, he definitely dominated that round. He went out. He was getting some good takedown. He got some good hits in, and then he finished him off. Was it with a choke?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think he finished him off with a choke. And
rear naked choke.
Yeah, super excited. Everyone's happy. There was a promoter that they meet later that was at the fight, watching the fight. They seemed happy. So everyone, it's a good day. Everyone's happy. And all that. And then we see at the end, Jay goes and sells and pawns a few things, and then he goes to an alley where there's I'm assuming she's a hooker. And
those are prostitutes.
He gives her some money, tells her to buy some food, and then he calls her mom at the end.
Yep.
So this is the first time we see his mom, and I mean, obviously, mom's in a bad way. Now they did refer to the mom earlier. I think Jay and Nate were talking about it, and they were talking about mom being a junkie. And Jay was standing up and basically saying the only reason mom's acting like that and everything is because dad pushed her to that. He said he was cheating on her all the time, messing around, getting in her head, and made her basically turn to drugs. Which, I mean, I guess they unfold more of that later in the thing, and the way that whole thing turns out is even crazier. But we'll get into that. So the last scene is basically Nate at the gym. He's kind of real cocky right now. This lady and a couple of other people come in, and they're talking about making some changes. They want to promote Nate. They want to get him some bigger fights. They want to put some money into the gym. And Alvy don't want to hear it. Like he likes to do things his own way. So he basically brushes her off and sends her to Lisa, which is smart. I mean, Lisa's the business person anyway.
Yeah, he also, I like how he was watching them walk on his mat. Now, I was thinking, like, if these people are around martial artists or gyms or MMA gyms, you know not to walk on the mats with your shoes on.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things you learn. You know that. So I was wondering, were they doing that as, trying to pull a power move or something to see was he going to say something? Because he did direct them to which way to go when they left. He said, when you walk around this way, go around the mats.
Yeah, he definitely said something and mentioned it. We see Ryan's been texting Lisa, and she doesn't answer them, but she kind of just looks at him like, okay, whatever. But then she shows up at one of his group meetings, and she's there and she's listening to him tell the story about how he ended up in jail, where he was messed up, he was getting wasted, and he came home to an intervention, and he knew exactly what was going on. And like most interventions, especially if you come in messed up, he tried to leave and his dad got in his way, and he explained it like at that time, like, you just don't do that to me. And he beat the crap out of his dad. I mean, put him in a wheelchair, messed him up for he was in the hospital in the ICU for a few days. And yeah, not good. Not good at all.
Yeah.
And then earlier in the episode, we saw the guys that Alvy beat up at the beginning. They found a flyer that was being passed out. And so they realized the gym, and somehow they put the gym together with Nate. And so the end of this whole episode, these two guys run Nate off the road and beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, that was a little weird, man. Because I don't think in real life, unless you knew who that was, I don't think you're gonna remember that face.
No.
And put two and two together like that. Hey, once you saw that flyer, because the fight was so quick, and Alvy was just running by when they had that confrontation. I was like, they didn't know he was a fighter, MMA guy, or anything like that. He was just a tough guy to them, and he beat him up. So them finding the flyer, knowing him, and then they beat up Nate on purpose. The first time I saw this, I thought they thought it was Alvy, and they jumped. But watching it this time, I heard him say, like, tell your dad.
Oh no, they said ask your dad why this happened.
Yeah.
So the second episode opens up. We have Nate waking up in the hospital. He's got some stitches. He's got a brace on. So he got messed up pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, they were beating him with stuff like pipes or bats or something like that. They beat. He should have been worse than what we see when he wakes up.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically when they go to pick him up, like they say, it's going to be about 6 months before he can even think about fighting again, or even training. But I mean, that's a pretty long time. We also see Alvy. He's in therapy. I guess the way he explained it is that Lisa thought it would be good for him. He didn't say that he wanted to be there.
No.
He didn't sound like he wanted to be there, because even at the end, he was kind of like telling the psychiatrist, like, hey, I think you're doing a really good job. We're making. I'm like, how do you? The psychiatrist knows if he's doing a good job or not. He's doing his job.
Yeah, and he was ready to leave.
He was kind of patronizing him. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. Again, Jay's crazy, but he's talking to, is his name Connor, the doctor, I think, or the nurse, whatever he is.
What doctor?
Colin.
I don't remember.
The guy who
oh yeah. What I thought he was a nurse.
I think he's a nurse. But
I don't remember his name. Yeah. So Lisa doesn't want him around because
he said he was juicing some of the guys.
Yes. And he hooks up Alvy
with some, isn't it testosterone though? I don't think he's hooking him up with any juice.
I don't know if they said, but it's some type of steroid that he's giving him.
So he lets Jay throw a dart that's supposed to hit a bat that he's holding up, and he hits him right in the back. What kind of friend are you that you're going to allow that and not say something about, like, what the hell?
Better than the first place that he decided that he wanted to try and hit. Like, he was trying to hit his nipple.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, why would I do that? Like, what do I get out of this? That's a dumb game to try and play.
I agree.
He drew a bullseye. Number one, dude, like, get away from my nipples. You're not gonna be drawing anything on my chest or any part of me.
Jay is a special kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Ryan's taking a shower and he gets out and he's got a roommate. And this is the first time we get to meet Keith, aka Stingray. And Keith is like a big baby.
Well, we see him in the first one.
Yeah, but we didn't meet him.
Right. When Ryan knocks out that guy at the halfway house, we go past Keith and he looks impressed. And I was wondering, like, was this guy bullying Keith also?
Probably.
That's what it kind of seemed like.
Yeah, because they do stuff later to show that he definitely was bullying them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Keith is in his room flipping out. He's just tearing the whole place up. And what is it? It's over a keychain of a bear. And so, I mean, everything that Ryan's been through, and he's got to deal with this now. The way he handled it, like he handled it better than I would have.
Yeah.
Like, dude, shut the front door. Go away about this doggone keychain. You're 30. Like, calm down, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I almost want like Keith might be on the spectrum or something because he
definitely is.
He's a special kind of dude.
Yeah.
So then we see Alvy. He's teaching a class, and he's talking to. He's gonna go pick Nate up later, and then he has to sit down. And Lisa's basically telling him, "Listen, business wise, you got to start holding people to their obligations, or start kicking them out." And this sounds like it's a problem for Alvy because he don't want to kick nobody out, but he also don't want to push.
I think it's a problem for a lot of martial arts instructors, honestly. I don't think he's the first one and only one.
I know, man, but if this is your business and you're not making no money and you got people just coming in and training and using your name, like, come on. Yeah. And she said they have contracts. Mm-hmm. If you have a contract, just take their ass to court. Get it.
Yeah, I guess he just kind of wants to help these guys out, that the people that come and train there, because he already admitted that none of them are really, really good fighters. He said that, he was like, look, who do you think is going to be a champion? Like, look at these guys. He was like, Ryan is the only one. That's why he really wants Ryan to join the gym and get back to fighting.
Yeah.
So I was kind of surprised they didn't think that about Chris Liebman's character.
I know. Well, and then later they get that girl later.
You think they would have did more with him with Chris Liebman in this?
Yeah, they didn't do much with him at all.
No, but you think they would have?
They should have.
Yeah.
So they go and Lisa and Alvy go pick up Nate. They bring him home. They offered to have him stay at the house, but he didn't want to deal with that, which is crazy because I don't know, the house sounds like a better idea than hanging around Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you got to be, resting and taking some drugs and stuff. But
guess he wanted his own space, man. I guess no place.
Well, I get it. Like I get it, but he's just. Plus, I think he's just loyal to his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Even if his brother's a bit of a dipshit. One of the guys, Taylor, Lisa talks to him about paying his dues, and he was trying to avoid her. He kind of like knew what it was about, and she's talking about if he's gotten any fights coming up, and he's like, I guess he's got a bad eye, so he really can't fight. It just like doesn't make any sense. You have no money coming in. You're not working. You're not getting any fights. Like you're not going to be able to pay. So she tells him he can finish the day, and then he's got to go.
Like, and that's Chris Liebman. That's Chris Liebman's character.
Yeah, and she already knew that because the first thing all these people are saying is, "Well, I talked to Alvy."
Mm-hmm.
So she already knew Alvy was just going to let him right back because that's the first thing she said to Alvy. Like, okay, I'm gonna start kicking people out until they pay, but you can't just let them right back in. And then, of course, that's what he does right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
So Ryan has his meeting with his probation officer, and they're talking about he has to get a job. So he writes down some information for him and tells them, I send a lot of people here. It's a pest control, which sounds awful, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you find the pests, you take care of the pests, trap the pests, whatever. Yeah, just that easy, I guess. But okay, whatever. Yeah. So he's gonna work on that. And then we see I really think his name is Connor or Colin. But
You know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up the character.
yeah. He's giving Alfie his medicine, and then the girl at the front says that he should watch out for Lisa. And we don't know why Lisa's mad at him, but then Jay shows up and basically says, I don't know what's going on, but you really gonna have to work that stuff out with Lisa because you're not she's the gatekeeper basically. So he goes to talk to her, and that's when she reveals like he was juicing people and they got people in trouble with the commissioner and all this other stuff. So that just to watch it.
Was it Mac?
Yeah, that's who it is.
Mac.
Way off. Mac. So they don't really work out their differences, but she says, listen, man, get your stuff together. I'm kicking you out. I'll call the police, whatever. And so he says, okay, no problem. And then I guess he goes and works out a little bit. And then we see Lisa sit down with the promoter that showed up earlier. And it sounds to me like she's more interested in Elvie than Nate. Originally, she made it sound like she was interested in Nate, but I guess her dad's a huge Elvie fan back when he was fighting. And so they want to put some money into the gym. The problem is she offered right off the bat 20 G's to help out with the gym, which Lisa did basically turn down, but she turned it down like, dang, that was hard for her to do. Because the problem with that is the second you start letting somebody else get their hands in your business, they're going to start wanting to make some moves as well. And she told the girl straight up, she's like, listen, like I can try and talk to Elvie, but he really likes to run things his own way. And I can tell you right now, it's not going to go well. So it kind of sounds like,
and if you're investing $20,000, you are definitely going to have some input about something.
Oh, of course. So we don't really hear much about that. I think till way later about what's going to go down with any of that, if anything.
And it got to be hard to turn down $20,000 when you guys are broke. You guys are barely making it, and here's $20,000.
2 or 3 months before they're done, and Alvie goes right back to Ryan as his solve for that issue. And Lisa never really agrees to it, but she doesn't not agree to it. So Alvie, like I said, this is where I was saying, like, to me, it's kind of disrespectful to her because he really should have worked it out with her on how to make something like that work. But she basically just says, listen, if you really believe in this and that's fine. I can get on board with it. But if it messes things up here, don't blame me.
But also she knew that Ryan was not loyal, was not a loyal type of person from his previous.
That's what she was complaining about on top of it. Yep.
Yeah, because she said that, he'll, start having some success and then he'll leave and go to another gym because I guess he did that before.
So, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, Alvie's really hell-bent on this. And the other thing is he did let Jay back to the gym to train. And then he's actually training with Jay. And man, I really wanted to see Jay fight for the first time, but his dad was beating his ass.
Yeah.
Jay was just out of shape.
Yeah, that would happen. You're definitely gonna have ring rust.
Yeah, but Alvie was not taking it easy on him, and it was a mess. I mean, dang. And he's probably looking like, man, with Nate out of commission, he's got to do whatever he can, especially if he can't convince Ryan to come in. So that's going to be fun down the road. I do remember a lot of what happens with that. And so eventually when Jay gets his crap together, if he can get his crap together. And then Ryan and Alvie have another talk about everything. And Ryan basically expresses like he doesn't want to fight. And Alvie just kind of tells him like, well, I wish you would change your mind, but it is what it is. And like I said, he's still texting Lisa. I mean, he's texting him, I live with a crazy person in like a frowny face. So this isn't just like, hey, how are you doing? This is like almost flirtatious.
Mm-hmm. And she came clean and she told Alvy about it. And because she told him that she went to his meeting when he gave his little speech in front of his group or whatever. And he was like, well, this is not going to keep happening. You know, this texting between each other. That had to be awkward for everybody.
Yeah, it's not a good thing, man. I mean, that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
When stuff like that happens, especially if you're pushing for a guy to fight for you.
Yeah.
Like, you really got to get that under control. And of course, the next day, we see Taylor right back in the gym. And Lisa says something to Alvy about it, and Alvy, he just kind of brushes it off, just like she said he would earlier.
Yeah, yeah. And this time, did she give him to the end of the month, or did she give him to the end of the week?
I think the end of the week, but
to keep training. But
it's not going to change.
Yeah, he said something like, "I'll sell a kidney" or something like that.
Yeah. Nate showed back up, and he was just hanging around. Everyone was happy to see him. You know, he's limping around doing PT and everything like that. And then the other thing we got going on, Jay is hanging out at the police station. He wants to know what the detectives are doing about his brother. They got nothing. Now, the crazy thing is, the detective and Jay have both asked Nate like who these people were, what was going on, if anything was said, and Nate's not giving anything up. He's just pretending like nothing, like he didn't see nothing like that. And so when Jay does finally get to talk to the detective, who's obviously avoiding him because he's a crazy person, the detective tells him straight up, "I don't have anything. Your brother won't give me nothing. There was no witnesses. Like, I know as much as you know. Like, what do you want me to do?" Which is the honest to God truth. Like, what does he want him to do? So, of course, that's not good enough for Jay. So he kind of follows the detective, and he starts getting a little lippy and forceful. And then I guess he didn't like the way the guy was brushing him off, so he just pushed him in the back a little bit.
You cannot touch a police officer.
No, that's not gonna fly like that. So he gets arrested. I mean, he pulled his gun on him. He gets arrested.
The other cops did too. They saw it too. They were around. And
so
now you're going away.
He said, "Oh, it was a reflex." Man, that's a bad reflex to have.
Yeah, I'm just pushing cops around.
Alvy and Lisa are, she's telling Alvy's telling her to come over. They're having a little fun, cute boyfriend-girlfriend moment. He's all sweaty. She said she just took a shower, and he grabs her and starts, da 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 da. And of course, right when that whole little scene's going on, Ryan walks in, like, just kind of looking like, okay, this is what I'm going to deal with every day. Because I guess he's there now to see what happens. So he's going to take Alvy up on his offer to fight and see what happens. So, I mean, here we go. And I wanted to watch the next episode, but I'm like, I got to wait.
You forgot something.
What'd I forget?
You forgot about Ryan and Keith and the bear.
Oh, yeah. Ryan bought a new bear because they never found the other one.
Oh, no. He did not buy that bear.
He didn't?
No, he was the one who took the bear.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, he was the one who took the bear. But he saw Keith with the bear earlier. So he took the bear and pretended that he didn't know anything about the damn bear. So then when Keith that day when he flipped out, he brought it back and he actually said, "Hey, guess what? Look who's back." It was the bear.
He found it behind the thing.
And he told him he didn't find it behind it. He had kept it in the bathroom.
Yeah,
he kept it in the
I missed that, bro. I thought he bought a new one.
No. He took that bear.
So why?
I don't think they ever explain it.
You think he just wanted to see what would happen?
I guess. I think Ryan got some issues also. I think he's a little bit nuts too. Or maybe he wanted to find a way to communicate with Keith, or maybe he wants Keith to be his flunky. I don't know.
Listen, man, I have never been like wasted or anything, but it would take a lot for any son to step to his dad like Ryan said he did. Like, that just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I'm not saying like I was never scared of my dad,
Mm-hmm.
but I love my dad and I respect him. Like I wouldn't want to fight my dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Ryan has something going on in his head. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Even if he was messed up, like how messed up would you have to be to do something like that?
He might have some CTE or something, man.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, he
Well,
might. Yeah,
he does some crazy stuff later on, and
yeah,
this whole thing, like I said, there's a lot of crazy drama in this. That's what I like about this show. Like I said, this is technically a drama because
Mhm.
I mean, and it unfolds just like a drama, but it has some really good fight scenes. It has some really good storytelling, and like I just remember the ending got me so bad. I was like,
yeah,
man, what?
yeah, yeah,
And some of the other stuff, some of the fights go different ways than you thought they would, and it makes it more interesting. It's really good. It's really
yeah.
cool.
It is. My only thing is some of the stuff feels a little bit incomplete to me. Like
Of course.
the ending of this series seemed rushed,
Yes.
and I really, I think they could have. I think they could have did more with the ending. Even if you would have had to have a fourth season, just to tie it up and make it a little bit cleaner as far as the ending. I think they should have did that. The same
Yeah.
thing with this bear. I don't think they explain why Ryan took the bear from Keith.
I really want to know about that. See, I didn't see it that way. I thought he just bought a new one and one of the other guys took it.
No. Why would he keep it in the tank?
No, you're right. You're right.
You know, but I think that bear, because the bear was a keychain, it was given to him by his mom or someone. So Ryan wouldn't have been able to find that bear anywhere else.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, so yeah, he
That's
took it.
crazy.
He took it for some reason because then he tells him, "Well, yeah, I found it on the behind the bed or something like that. I saw his legs sticking out or something." It's like what? And Keith says, "I looked there." He's like, "I looked there 1,000 times." You know. So anyway, so that's it for episodes 1 and 2 of Kingdom. Next week we'll do 3 and 4. And of course we'll go ahead and we'll grade it at the end. But I think we're both going to end up giving this an A. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Make sure you guys check out Superflix. Last week we did Superman, the Superman movie that came out in 2025. This week we are reviewing The Batman. So I guess we're gonna record that tomorrow, Joe.
Yep.
I've seen it before. I've seen it a few times. But I think I only watched it all the way to the end and stayed awake one time. Maybe in the theater. It might have been the only time. So I got to finish rewatching that movie tonight. And check out Superflix this week and listen to our review. Any closing remarks, Joe?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. Everyone stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.